Right, let's get this bloody motor in this bloody car. It's another scorcher in the workshop. Got the roller shutter cracked a bit. I've got some proper time today. It's about 10:15 in the morning now. I've got till about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Whatever we have to do, that motor's going in there today, unless I collapse from heat exhaustion first. Limited amount of talking, just lots of doing. First up then, taking out the X-frame, breaking out the impact gun for this, the big impact gun. Access is a bit limited because obviously I've got a jack supporting the gearbox end, and I've got the engine crane supporting the motor end, and the car is tucked right up against the shelves over there, so there's not a lot of space to get to anything. So as many of you may have worked out already, I'm a dumbass. What did I not have in when I was test fitting the motor and gearbox before? I had the gearbox mounted up to the gearbox mount, I had it installed there. So I thought, well sure, if I put the gearbox in the gearbox mount this time, everything will fit. But of course I didn't have the shifter linkage in, which shunts the gearbox forward slightly and means that all my measurements are out of whack. So the only way this is going to work is if I adjust my adapter plate. Not massively. This is going to have to come off, go through an angle and be welded back on again in the right position. So we're going to crack on. We're going to get the engine mounted with this but without the mounting plate, and then re-weld that up and give it a quick coat of paint so it can all go back in. That's the plan. Now that we've got that mount on, we can see that although the movement is relatively small, it does cause us multiple problems. Our mounting holes no longer align, so we're going to have to re-drill those mounting holes and shuffle the position of the plates. We trim the plates down, maybe remake the mounting plates. I haven't tried fitting the stabilizer yet. You can see there's really not a lot in it. It's not at a very sharp angle. It does seem to be higher though, which is interesting. I do wonder if there's a different cross member for the straight six cars versus the 4-cylinder cars. So we're going to have to make some adjustments to that before we weld it back on. Going to hope that everything else still fits. I think I might bolt up the mounting bracket and get the inverter test fitted before I do anything else, just in case nothing else fits. But yeah, definitely need to drill some new holes down here and relocate those mounting plates. This is not, we need to drop our gearbox down as well actually, because that's not sitting at an appropriate angle. Let's go back and get the gearbox bolted up and then we can work out locations for everything else. Obviously going to put the gearbox in with the new mounting rubbers after I tore one with all this mucking around. Job that needed doing anyway, probably. It is now over an hour since that last clip. I could not get that gearbox mount in. I don't know why. The position of the gearbox is pretty fixed by the shifter, and yet I couldn't get the original mounting holes to line up at all, which is a pain in the arse, frankly. But it's in now, and we can start measuring up for the adjustments. But first, let's get some other bits in and see if they fit. Suffice to say, this is not going well. So inverter fits fine, should be no problems there. I'm probably going to change the highest point anyway, which is this connector, and put a straight one on, just go straight out that way. But battery box does not clear the hydraulic connections on our steering rack by quite some way. I'm beginning to think I've missed some pretty critical differences between the straight 6 Z3 and this one. I didn't think there were any real differences in crossmember, etc. So what do? I don't think I'm going to take the crossmember off the other one. I want to leave that as it is. I want to keep all those parts together because that might just cause a cascade of further issues. But you can see, I mean, there's a good 20mm underneath down there, which means our battery box isn't going to sit anywhere near as low as I liked, as I wanted. And I don't think we can really move. Can't get you much light because there's not an awful lot of give there to move those down. I've already got them pretty low. So we're just going to have to move the battery box up slightly, at the back at least. Just noticed another really weird thing, which is that the mounting plates are not sitting flat. There's an angle between this and the bits that it bolts down to. Mea culpa time. I'm even more of a dumbass than I thought I was. Forgot to put the engine mounts in. So that's why the battery box wasn't clearing. Doesn't explain some of the other issues, but it does explain why the battery box wasn't clearing. So at least we don't have to adapt the battery box. We still have to do a little bit more work on the mount to make all that fit. I've made some progress. So now with the engine mounts in, I mean, you can see that this still doesn't line up with there. If we grab the mount, things are still further forward, so that needs re-welding on at an angle, which is fine. That's not a major issue. That can be welded on. Yeah, that's straight. You can see there's a good, it's about 2 centimeters difference. The whole engine's about the whole motor's about 2 centimeters further forward. So I've drilled some new holes for mounting the motor mounts and got those in. I've actually trimmed this bracket down a bit too far because I was working on trimming it down for here, actually to fit against the back, the lip on the back of the motor mount, but it's fine, it'll do. It's not too short. Might do a new one, we shall see. So now that those are there, let's clean that up and get that tacked back together. And then, do you know what, let's do some fun stuff before I have to pull it all apart again. It fits. Just. It's a bit tight now, with everything shuffled forward 2 centimeters, but it just about all still fits. Good job we didn't drill our mounting holes for the back of the battery box, because they're going to be shuffled backwards as well. You may have noticed that the holes I drilled for mounting everything weren't quite in line with the old ones there were, the new holes I drilled in the motor mount. I may have to shuffle those around a bit. It looked straight, felt straight. If you look from the top down, it's not quite straight. But because the things I'm welding the new plates to aren't straight, it's all a little bit, you can only really do it by eye. I mean, I could stick a tape measure between there and there. I could look at the angle of that. Lots of different ways I could do this. It doesn't look bad. I'm quite happy with how it looks. I'm very happy it all still fits. It does mean there's not a lot of space for radiator pipes. So yeah, we can measure up for our new hydraulic hose now, our new high pressure hydraulic hose, and work out how long that needs to be. We could go through and wire everything up now and give myself a break from welding, grinding, making mistakes, which is quite tempting. Could get it all wired up, see if the motor spins, and then come back and weld it all out. But can't deny, after the last couple of sessions, I'm a bit flat. I didn't think I'd be driving the car out today, but I did think I'd have all the hardware done. I didn't think I'd be going back to cutting and drilling and grinding and welding. I thought I'd be plumbing and wiring and testing. And so after the last 2 sessions in here, yeah, it's that point in the project. It's that point in every project where you need to kick up the arse, or you just need to plod on and keep going. So I'm going to call it a day there, a bit earlier than I planned, but I'm worn out. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning to get back from a business trip in order to spend some time here. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's progress, just not the progress I wanted. So if you want to see me finally finish this bloody thing, please do like and subscribe. All motivational comments appreciated, or, you know, laugh at my expense for getting the engine mounts. If you can work out why the whole thing's 2 centimeters further forward, if you're a Z3 expert, or you've noticed a gap in my measuring, by all means let me know. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.